Hey everyone, me Kevin here with your stimulus check update for 7-Eleven. If we weren't in a pandemic, I'd ordinarily tell you to go to 7-Eleven and get a free Slurpee. Larry Kudlow was just bluntly asked, quote, "Are you expecting the next stimulus check to be smaller and for a smaller portion of Americans?" At first, Larry Kudlow said, quote, "That kind of economic assistance should be more targeted." And the reporter interrupts and says, quote, "So yes." And Larry Kudlow responds with, "I guess that's a yes." He goes on saying, quote, "You want to target the lowest end people who have the most difficulty and don't have a job to go back to. I think that's just good policy." Seriously, Larry? It's good policy to wait 4 months between stimulus bills? Seriously? Think about this for a moment. The CARES Act was passed on March 27th. Yeah, we're coming up on 4 months ago. We've been suffering in this pandemic for a third of a year. Half of 2020 is already over. We're now in the second half of a really crappy year. And at the same time, we hear some hope from people like Trump and Mnuchin saying we want another stimulus check and we can expect another stimulus check. And it's gonna be big, it's gonna be huge, it's gonna be bigger than what other people want, and it's gonna come fast. And then Larry, who's, the grumpy dude coming out on the White House lawn, is gonna give us more grump and take that away. Larry's gonna say it's good policy to target a smaller group of people. This is frustrating, folks. And you know what? It's not just frustrating to you, and it's not just frustrating to me. It's also apparently becoming frustrating to the media. Republican pundit Ann Coulter, Republican, is so fed up with Senator Mitch McConnell that she called him out on Twitter. The lovely Amy McGrath, who, by the way, is the person competing with Mitch McConnell for Mitch McConnell's Senate seat. The average donation to her campaign is $36. Mitch McConnell is a broken down old man owned by cheap labor lobbyists. She then went on to say, well, hashtag defeat McConnell, and then also said Mitch McConnell is running this year in a close election. If we do not teach these betraying rhinos a lesson, we will be a Charlie Brown with a football for our remaining time on Earth. Kentuckians, stay home on election day. A rhino is a, quote, Republican in name only, which basically means she thinks that Mitch McConnell is beholden to other interests and not true Republican interests or interests of the people. And look, Lauren and I are sick of this pandemic. We're tired of seeing cases go up. But guess what? You know why cases are going up? It's not just because of masks, and of course I encourage you to wear masks, but it's because we're not getting enough support to stay home. When Germany shut down their economy, guess what they did? They said, stay home, don't go outside. If you go outside, we'll fine you, if you don't wear a mask especially, but instead, we'll pay your bills if you just stay at home. You don't have to worry about a $1,200 stimulus check to cover you for 4 months. You don't have to worry about applying for unemployment or all this crap. We'll cover your pay. I think it was like 80% of your pay got covered or something like that technically. Basically, everybody was still able to make their rent payment, their mortgage payment. People were staying home, so they were spending less anyway. It solved the problem, and they eliminated it. They've got very, very few cases. They have an excellent healthcare system, and they finished it. They're over it. We're like stretching this out forever. Like, I don't even know if this is gonna be done by January at this rate. And this is ridiculous because I'm sick and tired of making these videos and I wanna go outside. Now, I love sharing the updates with you, don't get me wrong. But I'm definitely more frustrated today than I usually am because when I saw this interview, I wanted to tear my hair out. This morning, I also listened to a bar owner in Texas lament that she had to close her bar again. And at first we're thinking to ourselves, well, of course, you should close your bar. Bars are great areas to spread the virus. But then I heard her story. She saved for 7 years to build her business. Now she's getting evicted from her home pending the eviction expiration. So she's basically on the edge of eviction. She's waiting for the hammer to drop. Where's the hammer? She is waiting for the hammer to drop. The government shut her down again, despite being able to briefly reopen. And now she has the threat. The state is threatening to take away her liquor license because she didn't shut down fast enough. At the same time, Trump is commuting somebody who was sentenced and Nancy Pelosi is introducing legislation to limit commuting powers. Seriously, it doesn't matter if you're left or right. I just can't defend any politician right now. This sucks. There's even a viral story right now about a high-risk 17-year-old girl who was brought to a church by her family. Her family believed that if she got sick, hydroxychloroquine would save her. She ended up catching the coronavirus at that church event. Her parents self-medicated the 17-year-old daughter with hydroxychloroquine. And then she went to the hospital finally after her illness got worse and worse and worse. And she died 2 days after her 17th birthday from COVID-19. You don't have to be a Republican or Democrat to see that this sucks and that it's messed up. You don't have to be a Republican or a Democrat to look at case counts in Italy or New York and go, come on, why can't that also be us? And you know, it's all seriously stemming back to the stupid $1,200 stimulus check. You can't shut down our country and give people $1,200 for 4 months. I get it. Wealthy people, they got PPP loans. They got big ones, especially if they had great connections with bankers. They don't have to make their payroll anymore. The government's making their payroll for them. They're free to go invest in the stock market. You got a business, you're rich, here you go. Get some free, and we'll cover your payroll for you. You just go play in the stock market, why don't you? The stimulus has been paltry and pathetic for people. People on unemployment, yeah, fine. Maybe you're able to get a $600 boost plus state pay. Really? Is that gonna get you far ahead in life? Is that all of a sudden gonna turn you into somebody who's wealthy? No, it's not enough. Our country as a whole is not getting enough support. Now, maybe I'm just down a bit today. I'm ordinarily supposed to tell you to sign up for life insurance in as little as 5 minutes and get 2 free stocks with Webull when you deposit $100. But then I just end up getting people in the comments section on other YouTubers' channels calling me names because I have sponsors. Whatever. I'm sorry, I know I'm a little bit frustrated, but I will say this does make me feel like I want to just pack my bags and get on a plane, even though I feel like that's like the worst thing to do right now. Take my German Reisepass here. It's a passport. It's a German passport. It means I'm a member of the European Union. I also have an American passport, but guess what? I didn't take that one out because it doesn't make me feel great right now. We'll see you next time, folks. And I'm wearing pants.